You've definitely seen this image before, right? A four-armed figure, just frozen in this timeless dance, circled by a ring of fire. It's an icon that has traveled from ancient temples to modern art, t-shirts, and even science labs. But what is actually going on here? What does it all mean? Well, today, we're going to dive in and decode one of the most profound symbols ever created, the cosmic dance of Shiva. So to get started, let's go somewhere you would probably never expect to find an ancient religious icon. This is CERN in Switzerland, home of the Large Hadron Collider. And yeah, right outside, there it is, this incredible statue of the dancing Shiva, a gift from India. And this connection between, cutting-edge particle physics and ancient mythology, it's not random at all. In fact, it's a huge clue to just how deep this symbol really goes. It really makes you ask a pretty wild question. What is the fundamental secret of our universe? And how could a 1,000-year-old statue possibly hold a key to understanding that constant rhythm, that dance of creation and destruction that governs everything from the tiniest particles to the biggest stars? Well, that's exactly what we're here to figure out. But before we can really decode the dance, we gotta ask, how did this sacred image, first cast in bronze way back during India's Chola dynasty, become this global phenomenon that speaks to people from completely different walks of life?
So, who is this cosmic dancer? He's one of the most complex, most powerful, and frankly, most fascinating deities in the entire Hindu pantheon, the one and only Shiva.
So, the name Shiva literally means the auspicious one. Kind of sounds gentle and friendly, doesn't it? But the true nature of Shiva is anything but simple. He is a god of really deep contradictions, and honestly, that's exactly where all his power comes from. I mean, this duality is at the very heart of who he is. On one hand, you've got the destroyer, the ascetic, who turns his back on the world, the wrathful avenger. And on the other, he's the restorer, a symbol of sensuality, a kind and benevolent protector. He's both, all at once, and it's this very tension that fuels his cosmic dance.
And that brings us to the dance itself. It's known as the Ananda Tandava, which means the dance of bliss. And let me tell you, every single element of this statue is absolutely packed with meaning. So let's break it down, piece by piece. Okay, let's start with his upper right hand. See that small, hourglass-shaped drum he's holding? It's called a Damaru. Now, this isn't just for keeping a beat. Its rhythm is the very pulse of creation itself. It represents that first primordial sound, the vibration that started everything. Now, look to his opposite hand, to the upper left. He's holding a flame. It's the perfect counterbalance. If the drum is creation, then this flame, well, this is destruction. This is Agni, the fire that will dissolve the entire cosmos when its time is up. Now, his second right hand is making a gesture you might actually recognize. It's called the Abhaya Mudra. That open palm is a universal sign of reassurance. It's saying, don't be afraid. It's a promise of protection, a sign that even in all this chaos, he's maintaining balance. And if you follow his lower left hand, you'll see it's pointing right at his raised left foot. This symbolizes release, or what's known as Moksha. This is all about liberation from that endless cycle of birth and rebirth. It's the soul's ultimate goal. So while one foot is offering liberation, the other one is planted firmly down, but not on the ground. It's actually crushing a small, dwarfish figure. This little guy is Apasmara, the demon of ignorance and forgetfulness. And the message here is crystal clear. Before creation can happen, before you can find enlightenment, the darkness of ignorance has to be stamped out. So how do all these individual symbols fit together? Well, they build up to this absolutely breathtaking philosophical concept. The whole statue isn't just about a god dancing. It's a metaphor for the universe itself, for that constant interplay between time and eternity. When you put it all together, these symbols represent the 5 divine acts that Shiva performs as the cosmic dancer. You've got creation from the drum, preservation from that fear not gesture, destruction in the flame he holds. Then there's concealment, the idea that he kind of hides reality behind an illusion, and that's embodied in the dance itself. And finally, grace, or release, which is offered by his uplifted foot. But this is where we get to the most amazing paradox of all. The limbs are in this frantic, energetic motion, right? The hair is flying, the body's swaying. It's a picture of total, non-stop activity. And yet, look at his face. It's perfectly still. It's calm. It's completely
tranquil. There's a quote that just nails this idea. It talks about the tension between the marvel of the dance and the serene tranquility of his face. That tension, that's the tension between eternity and time. The wild dance is time, constantly flowing, creating and destroying. But that calm face, that's eternity, changeless, timeless, totally unaffected by all the cosmic drama. I mean, just look at that face. It exists in what's described as transcendental isolation. It's like an unconcerned spectator, its smile turned inward, just filled with the bliss of being. It is the still point in a turning world, the silent witness to the endless, beautiful dance of existence. So this all brings us to our final section. Why does this image, an image created over 1,000 years ago, still have such a hold on us? What makes it such a powerful symbol for our own modern age? Well, the icon's journey has been pretty remarkable. It started way back in the 10th century as a sacred object of worship in South India. Then, for centuries, that's what it was. But in 1975, a physicist named Fritjof Capra used it as this incredible metaphor for the dance of subatomic matter in his book, The Tao of Physics. And boom, it just exploded into Western consciousness. Today, it's this universal symbol that speaks to everybody. Artists, scientists, spiritual seekers, you name it. And that really speaks to just how adaptable it is. I mean, from these sacred bronzes to all kinds of modern reinterpretations, the Nataraja has been absorbed and repurposed all over the world. And it finds new, profound meanings in pretty much every context. So in the end, this one single image holds so many different meanings. For many Hindus, yeah, it's a powerful object of devotion. But it also stands for Indian tradition, for Tamil identity, for classical dance, and even, like we saw at CERN, for the fundamental rhythm of the entire cosmos. It really is a god for all time. And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. The statue of Shiva Nataraja tells us the universe isn't static. It is an eternal, dynamic dance between being and non-being. So if that's the grand stage we're all on, it kind of asks us to consider, are we just watching from the sidelines? Or are we actually participants in this cosmic dance? What part do we play?